This is a story about salvation and deliverance. I made friends with a girl in Baltimore City when I was pastoring in Southeast Baltimore. This particular young lady became my favorite Christian. She was raw and she didn't know anything about being a Christian, so she wasn't influenced by cultural or Christian norms. Turns out this girl, when I met her, she said, I don't know if I can be saved because of what I've done. Turned out later that she was a gang member for Dead Men Incorporated. She was the captain over a south central area of the city. She was a drug addict, a drug dealer, and a murderer. Later, she got saved, or she was saved. She cleaned up, and Jesus got her out of the gang. That's a miracle. You don't get out of those things, and Jesus got her out of the gang. We used to go to Narcotics Anonymous meetings together. I used to go with her in the Baltimore Highlands, and that wasn't a church experience, by the way. That was very raw, and I used to love being with her. Well, anyway, one day she called me out of the blue and she said, "Troy, I think my daughter's possessed." She had two daughters. One by a gang member, drug dealer guy, and the other by she was raped. And the younger one, she said, it's possessed. I said, well, I was kind of new at the whole deliverance thing, so I said, well, let me come over there and pray for her. She said, okay. So I went over there and I started praying for this little girl. I put my hand on her head. She rolled over on her back and got rigid. Her hands got rigid. Her body got rigid, and she started shrieking. A little freaky. So I kept praying, and I looked up at her mom, like, is this all right? And she just gave me a nod of affirmation, like a very confident nod, like, keep doing it, So I keep praying for this girl, and eventually she experiences release. Her body released. The demon was gone. She relaxed, and she looked at me, and she got up, and she ran to her room and slammed the door. Didn't know what to do with that, so we just said our goodbyes and hugs and whatever, and then we left. And then a couple years later, I'm here in Salisbury, Maryland. I call her back. We've remained friends. And I said, hey, with your daughter, that whole thing we did, and we prayed, and she shrieked, and she said, yeah. She said, Troy, I'm going to tell you something. She said, since that night, something has changed in my daughter. She's doing so great, and something changed her life. And she said, Troy, not only that, something changed in me. I didn't ask her what changed in her life during that conversation, but I know this. I know that Jesus changed that girl's life that night, and he did a little extra side work for the mama. So if you're interested in this story and this sounds cool to you, you can go to the website. You can learn many more details about this story and Crazy White Bee, and you can also read other stories of deliverance, of healing, dreams and visions, salvation, and other Jesus Navy SEAL type stuff that's super cool. So click the link, go to the website, and check out what Jesus is doing through the Truth Project of Salisbury, Maryland.